I called a government official. He picked up the phone and said, "How can I help you?" I said, "Look, I'm an outstanding law-abiding citizen." He said, "Good." And I said, "Look, I've made a lot of money and paid a lot of taxes." He smiled. He said, "Good for you, sir. How can I help you?" I said, "Look, I want to take my money with me." He said, "Are you leaving the country?" I said, No. I want to take my money with me when I die." He said, "Excuse me?" I said, "Yeah, when I die, I want to take my money with me." He hung up the phone on me. How rude. I said, these government officials, they're never helpful. So I decided to go see my priest. I went to my priest and I said, "Look, I've made a lot of money." He said, "Good for you, son. I'm glad you're successful." I said, "I want to make a big donation." The priest grinned. He was very happy to hear that. I said, "But I have just a small request." He said, "Anything for you, son. What can I help you with?" I said, "I want to take my money with me, the remaining money that I have, with me when I die." They threw me out. He called people and he had me thrown out. How rude, right? Now, isn't that the biggest irony? Is that we are all so focused on money and we have so much stress associated with money, and we cannot take $1 with us when we die. Making money is in the culture, it is in the psyche of our society, right? At social gatherings, I see people showing off or trying to share how much money they have in various ways. When we watch videos on YouTube, there are videos and TV shows about the lifestyles of the rich and famous. You have videos about the palatial homes of movie stars, right? All reinforcing that money buys you so much in life. And it gets into our psyche. We think, okay, we need that level of money to be happy. I am invited to speak as a speaker at to various MBA and BBA groups, students, and I typically talk about entrepreneurship and building their careers. But I in turn sometimes ask them, I say, what is it that they want from life? And majority of them answer, they want money. They want to make a lot of money in life. So even our young kids, who are just starting their life, they're starting their careers, making money is in the culture, is in the psyche of our thinking. Money is one of the biggest reasons why we have so many of us have so much stress in life. And financial stress is not just for the poor class or the middle class. In my career as an executive coach, I have coached many very successful, very rich executives and CEOs, and they have a lot of stress. And guess what is the number one reason for their stress? Money. They want to grow their companies, they want to increase what they have, and money is a big challenge for them. They're always trying to make more money. Think about this. Do you think billionaires are the happiest people on earth? Do you think a billionaire or billionaires wakes up in the morning and taps their feet and go, "Wow, I have so much money. I'm so happy. I'm the happiest person on earth because I have $1 billion plus in the bank or in my assets"? Listen to the interviews of these billionaires and these mega CEOs. What are they talking about in their interviews? They're talking about growing their companies and growing their empires. That is what is consuming them. Now, don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with making money. There is nothing wrong with wanting to grow. Right? There is a saying which says money is the root of all problems. Actually, that is not the saying. The correct saying is the love of money is the root of all problems. It's when we become obsessed with money. It's when money becomes an addiction. That is when money becomes a problem. And you have to ask yourself, if you're obsessed with money, if you wake up and the first thing that goes through your mind is how you're going to make more money, right? Or you're worried about money, then that may be a challenge. It may be an issue for you. Respect money, earn money, but give it the right place in your life. Now you might ask me back and say, well, what is wrong with obsessing on money? Why can't I focus on money? Right? What is wrong with that? Everybody does it. What is wrong with my addiction with money? Well, the problem is, in your addiction of money, in your obsession of money, you are paying with something far more valuable than money. Do you know what that is? It is your own life. When you're consumed with making money, you are letting life pass you by. I can give you $1 billion, but I cannot give you back today. I cannot give you back last year. There is no power that I have to give you back the time that has already gone by. And you have to measure that, you have to evaluate that and say, okay, I am so focused on making money. Am I forgetting to live life? Am I forgetting to relish life? Am I forgetting to smell the roses? When I'm having dinner with my loved ones, am I really there? I'm there physically, but am I really there, or is my mind consumed with the project at work? With growing my business or growing my career? Is that what is consuming me? Am I so worried about money? If you have an addiction and an obsession with money, then you are going to find that you're going to wake up one day, you're going to have money. Because, if you work hard and you focus on money, money will come. It will come, right? It might ebb and flow, but money will come. But what will not come back is your time. If you are spending your life to acquire money, that is a very expensive proposition. You better think about that. Remember, you cannot take money with you after you die. At your core, you are peace. Be who you are. Be peace. Be peace.